You're listening to Pro Booth Talk, education and insights for photo booth company owners.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Anybody that happens to be on right now. We don't ever announce it ahead of time.
I know, we don't. We barely.
I guess we should do that like a few days before or something like that.
Like a teaser. That would be smart for us to do that.
Yeah.
Well, last time I teased that Nicholas was going to come on and talk about AI, and then we were going to have Jason come on and talk about AI as well.
Yeah.
But Nicholas unfortunately got sick, and he's out of the country, and it didn't work out. So
Okay, next
time.
Yeah.
Join us on the
AI
next
is
one.
such a hot topic too.
Yes, it is. It is. Have you guys been using AI for any of your stuff?
I mean, a little bit. Like we were going to have Nicholas talk specifically about AI and photo boothing, and Jason was going to help us talk about like AI in terms of like ChatGPT and that sort of thing. So covering all aspects of AI, but neither one is here. So
I was able to join us today.
Yeah.
So I use AI as far as ChatGPT, like literally every day, constantly.
Yes.
AI photo booth, a little bit.
Yeah. So basically, with ChatGPT stuff, right? It's cool because you gotta think about it, right? You can actually use it to make your logos. Like, let's say a client sends you a logo that's like non-transparent, right? You say, ChatGPT, make this transparent for me, and it'll just do it. You know? So yeah, that's why I was so amazed. I was like, wow. It's like, yo, you don't have to like, hey, you gotta send me this transparent. No, you just go to ChatGPT, they'll remove the background for you.
Wow.
Yeah, ChatGPT's image generation has gotten really, really good. Just in maybe the last like 6 weeks or something.
Yeah, very surprising, man.
Pretty sure you could probably just say you want like a 2-inch by 6-inch photo overlay.
Yeah. Jason Cage, who was supposed to be on with us today, he was chatting with me the other day and shared how you can make full-on templates with ChatGPT, and then he went on and gave me some examples. That was wild. He like uploaded some artwork with like florals and gave it some direction and it shot it back like instantly. I was amazed.
Crazy.
And we also talked about like the capability of like creating like video overlays with like transparency, and I wish he was on today so that we could talk more about that, because that was pretty impressive. Because I struggle, you guys. I struggle with snap pics, video overlay encoding.
Oh, yeah, especially if you get into like the masking and stuff. It could get difficult or expensive if you need to hire someone to do that for you.
Yes. But you, even if you can design like basic video overlays, like not even animated, Snappic has like an encoding. You have like an Apple 444 encoding that you have to apply for the transparency.
Yeah, and they've got an encoder app though that you can download that makes it a lot easier. Also, Snappic does.
Do
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah. You can make your transparent overlays with Snappic, I heard. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Is it just
like
a mask?
animated?
Oh, really? Okay, well, I gotta check that out because I struggle with the video overlays.
I heard. Trust me, you and me both. We have our Mr. Sean for it. So Sean does this like he's like, "What do you need?" Bam, right away.
Yeah, Sean Go out of Nebraska. The other day I had a 360 and I was on site and realized that the date was incorrect. And it's not like a photo print layout where I could just pull up Photoshop and edit that layout. He had a job that he was doing. Sean, thank you so much. He had to stop what he was doing and redo that overlay for this 360 that I had, and that event started like within 5 minutes is when I noticed the incorrect date.
Yeah, he hit me up. I wasn't home though. I wasn't able to help you. Sorry that.
That's why you need the circle of friends.
Yes, because I was off by a day, guys. It was the 24th and the overlay said 25th, and it was completely my fault. And he saved me. I know, but
we save each other.
I gotta look into this. Yeah, thank goodness. Literally caught it like 15 minutes before the event, and so I was scrambling.
Yeah,
but you know what, you guys,
hard to fix.
I know.
Like with photo strips, you can do some batching, but with video, it's pretty much hard coded in there.
It was the outro. So I think still I could have edited, but
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys. So what day was this? This was Saturday where I did this event, right? I had a 360, and it's something that I've never seen before. I know we don't do 360s as much, but this really bugged me. The lighting in this venue had like this weird striping. Timo, Billy, you guys saw the 360? You guys all saw the 360 that I posted? It had like this weird striping of shadowing, and like I thought it was my equipment. So like I did a mad scramble, switched out my lens, switched out the cameras, and I could not. I even switched from what do you call it? PALs to what are the, you know, like the flip.
NTSC.
Yeah.
NTSC.
I thought maybe it was that. I switched into NTSC. I should know these terms, but and the flickering of the LEDs got worse, but like that weird shadow never disappeared. Sean, we're just talking about you.
What's up?
What's up, Sean?
Hey,
What's up?
Sean.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Is it loud and clear?
Yeah,
Loud and clear.
yeah.
Good.
We're just talking
Well,
about
you
how you
guys-
saved me at my event last Saturday.
Yeah, dude, I was calling everybody. I called Timo. It went straight to voicemail. Billy couldn't help me.
Yep.
Min didn't help me.
I was out in the woods. I didn't have no reception at all.
You
Wayne and Hal wanted to help me, but they wanted me to send them the file. I'm like, you're not going to be able to do what I could do. So I needed credentials.
you pulled a miracle and saved me with this incorrect date. Thank you.
Yeah, my team would already use all my Photoshop license or Adobe licenses, so I had to download it. I had to sign up for a trial.
Man.
Way to
Because
go.
I couldn't get credentials anywhere else.
Yeah, and I don't have that because I don't know how to use After Effects, right? Was it After Effects that you had to edit
got
it?
it kind
Yeah, After Effects.
Sean, I don't know. Sean doesn't want to be my friend anymore.
Dude, the things are like, okay, so I was driving back to the hotel from Ellie's
I
first
can hear
soccer
your
tournament.
kids. I heard your kids on Saturday.
Yeah, we were in the car and you dropped like the either shit or hell or something in front of them. Like, right? Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, what was that?
My bad.
of.
But thank you,
now,
Sean.
But hey, that's what we do for each other, right? So no
Yeah.
biggie, no biggie.
Yeah,
I was trying. Yeah, we couldn't do anything. I mean, sorry. Yeah.
no, but it's awesome, like just having that community. Because
Mhm.
it seems like it's such a small thing, but it isn't.
Mm.
No, it's a matter of a
Yeah,
failed
it's big.
event every now and again.
Yeah,
And we can blame the client, right? Because they sent the logo, didn't they?
they did, but it was me with the wrong date. They were given that. They were given the.
Right?
My clients don't really. My clients don't really get too involved with it, so they don't even look at the artwork sometimes that I send. Yeah. But hey, so you guys saw the 360. What do you guys have like advice wise for like the lighting challenges that I had?
I didn't
See,
see
you
have to
can't
look at it
really
again.
do much about that because that is all because of old lighting. You
What
know?
was causing that? Did you
Refresh
see it?
rate.
It was like, yeah. And I switched from PALs to NT.
You put it on your story, right? You didn't put it on your page. You didn't put it on post.
No,
It was in
I
our
didn't put it.
It was in our group
Put
chat.
it on. I put it on my Instagram on my page, but I edited a bunch of. I clipped together a bunch of 360 videos, so I don't think you could see the striping, but the videos, like at first I thought it was my equipment, so I did a mad dash, and then when I realized it wasn't showing, like it wasn't the lighting, the striping wasn't showing on the faces. It was just the background. I couldn't understand what was creating these shadows. If anybody that's watching, if anybody's watching and you see the 360, if you have any advice on what was, because it looked like it was picking up the shadow from the actual 360 arm at a certain angle.
No.
That was reflecting
It's a
onto the
refresh.
walls. Well, if anybody has any advice for how to like avoid that, maybe like
when I had something like that happen, I went from 180 to 120, and it fixed it.
Why didn't you
it's a refresh rate?
Dang it!
Because you don't have 180, do you? Or were you on
Is
your
this the
R8?
R8? No, I wasn't on the R8.
Yeah, see, yeah, I was on my R8. That's when I was noticing that. So I went to 120 and it fixed it.
No,
So your next option would to go to 120 to 60. And you were on your
no,
M. Yeah.
that wouldn't have looked good, right? You
That's
wouldn't.
why I
Yeah.
didn't give you that option.
Yeah.
I saw it, but then I knew you weren't on your R8, so I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
you're at 120, so going to 60 would have helped, but it wouldn't have made your footage bad.
Terrible.
Oh, I see
You
what you're talking
see
about.
it? You see that dark
Shadow?
But
Yeah, just
it's
moving
from,
like this.
but it's at a certain,
It's
it's
not
only at
it's not a shadow. It's a reef. Like it's continuous.
that's, I mean,
Yeah.
you could see it from a certain angle, like when it was on a certain side of the room, though, you could see it against the walls. I don't know if you guys are able to watch that video, but it was like driving me crazy. And then after a while, it's just like, okay, there's nothing I could do. I just gotta, I mean, the footage of the guests look great. It's just, there's this weird, like, dark, if anybody's watching this and you guys, see
I
this.
don't know. Could you share the screen?
360?
Can you share it? So
can
everyone
share
can
it.
see
You
your touch.
guys, I do that on live.
I'm not sure either, but I could play around. Did you have a share button? Like a share screen button on your...
Let me see if I can do it right now.
So there's like this really dark, and we've been doing 360s for a long time. I've done 360s outdoors. I've done it in venues that had like the flickering lights, the old lights, the lights that aren't quality lights that flicker. I've never had an experience like this where you could see like shadowing, but you could see at a certain side of the room. So when the arm was on the side where the balcony was on, you could see heavy, dark shadows, but there was nothing that I could do to figure out it. Like it's blowing my mind. What it was.
There we go.
You see that?
You see that?
Wow.
Yeah.
What is that?
See, if that shadow was from your arm, it would have gone a lot quicker.
But my arm's not even moving. Look at that.
I'm just saying, but
it was motionless.
Enjoying this. So I thought that was my camera equipment freaking out. So I switched my camera, I switched my lenses. I went from a wide angle to a standard kit lens. You see that crazy shadow right there? That's the side that all the videos have that shadowing.
There's no like
I've
ceiling
never
fans or
seen-
anything, huh?
No, I've never seen anything like that. If anybody knows what we're looking at, message us.
Interesting.
Because look at, you can see it all the way down the hallway.
Yeah, just one slice through. Yeah.
I'll be right back. I gotta
Wild.
go drop off photo booth equipment that I bought that I don't need. I gotta return it.
Sounds like every day from.
Like that's terrible.
Right.
Yeah. So like when I took footage in the main ballroom with my camera, with my phone, it had the same like zebraing. See the zebra shadow? It had that same zebra shadowing in the main ballroom. This is just like the foyer. But in the main ballroom it had that, but more subtle. So I don't know how to overcome something like that.
I've never encountered that before.
I've never seen anything like that either.
Yeah.
But maybe someone.
Did you try to change your shutter speed?
The what?
Your shutter speed, because of that 1 2 50.
Yeah, I think it's got to be the shutters for the frame rate.
Yeah, that's what Sean was saying. Switch it to 60, but then the videos would have looked terrible. I don't know which would have been a better balance, like having those
If
shadows
they're
show
on
up, or
250, you could have gone to like 180, 160, 120.
with like the
You could-
shutter speed.
Yeah, 160. I think you could have went down to. At the same time, yeah, you could drop your ISO when you go down to 160, depending how slow your slow motion is as well. So, I think that you should be.
I don't think I go to the lowest. I don't think I go to the lowest. I think I go to like 1/4 for slow motion, but that's really terrible.
Yeah, if you're doing 1/4, you should be okay. I mean, you should be good. You should be okay at 160. You should try it out. I felt you should try it out.
I mean, I didn't even think. I didn't even think to change my shutter speed. I couldn't even figure out what was. I thought maybe it was the arm that was creating that shadow, because it only is from this side of the room. When it's on the other side, you don't see that shadow.
It was probably because the lighting from the other side, from that side that is, you're seeing that the other side maybe didn't have the same lights.
Oh yeah, it's so trippy. I mean, the 360s, the guests were really happy with it, but man, that's all I could see when I was watching these videos.
So on the subject of ChatGPT, I just threw that video in there, and it says that it's most likely because your camera shutter speed isn't synced with the refresh rate of the LED lights overhead. And
Like,
like,
using ChatGPT to find our answer instead of all of 5 of us can't figure it out.
hey man, the ChatGPT.
Oh, we
What
said
does it say again?
color speed
And the solution
refresh
was
rate.
what Sean was saying was to change the speed or frame rate. Try 160, 150, or 100 depending on the lighting power source. So it says the LED lights that are in the room have a refresh rate that was out of sync with your
Yeah.
How do you
frame rate.
The camera. That's weird. That's so unique. I've never seen anything like that. I've seen where they're out of sync, but you're able to switch from PALs to the other one, but I've never seen just not being able to overcome it all altogether like that. But it's good to know for next time.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Yeah.
I mean, and now I know. I never seen that before. If it happens to me now, I know what to do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to change a animated overlay date, but, you know.
Next time you run into that, just go and turn off the lights.
Sounds like, don't call me. Next time that happens, don't call me.
Turn off the lights.
I'm not talking about if you get those shadows. Next time, just go turn off the lights. That's the easiest. I'm like, hey, where's the light switch? I need to turn them off for this.
Man, yeah, that was during their cocktail hour. Yeah. Yeah. So next time I'm live at an event, forget calling anybody for advice. I'm gonna hit up ChatGPT. What the heck? Jason literally just did that right now and got the answer.
Yo, that is true. Why not just upload stuff to ChatGPT?
Seriously.
We do all the time. We have our hosts. We have like a chat.
Are you
custom
serious?
GPT. We have people load stuff up too.
Okay, I just hit a railroad.
Sean, just like that. Sean, when ChatGPT say when the railroad's gonna go back up?
My God, I hate this. The worst time of the day. This one takes forever.
Hey, you got a kid on the car.
Oh yeah, we're going to swim practice.
If they can hear me.
The life of a photo booth, just always on the run, multitasking.
Yeah, that's it. At least he joined us. That's dedication.
Yeah. But
I had some time.
I love, Jason, how you just automatically pull up ChatGPT because you're so used to using it, whereas I didn't even think to pull it up. I didn't even think to like in my mind just think, what the heck?
Well, that's the thing is I don't even have to pull it up. Like on the side of my screen, like I have a second screen and ChatGPT is just always there because I use it all.
Yeah, man.
Do you have a paid account or do you use the free version?
Just the $20 paid account.
Okay, so you get more questions then.
Yeah, you can do more deep research. You can do more image generation. It's definitely worth your $20.
Is it 20 a month, right?
20 a month, yeah.
I have a free version, and I've been using it. I don't see anything.
It's slower. It's slower to respond
to. It's a bit slower. You don't have as many queries, but you likely won't run out. You can't do as many photo generations. You can't do as many deep research, but you also can't do any custom GPTs, which I do a lot of custom GPTs. Like we built out a custom tech support GPT for my hosts. So before they call us with a tech issue, they just go onto their chat GPT and like we loaded all our equipment and all our software and versions and everything. So our chat knows exactly what the issue is to pretty much every problem instantly.
How long is that free?
Setting it up didn't take long. The like beta testing took a lot of time because it'll just go to like let's reinstall the driver or something like that, and you don't want your host reinstalling drivers. So we just kind of used our in-house tech support. When someone would call for support, we would just run it through GPT first and keep a log of the responses and just kind of fine-tuned it so it was always like keep the event running, do very simple fixes first, check wires, make sure things are plugged in, restart applications, like kind of gave it a priority list. And it depends on how many events you're running to see how fast you can beta test. But what was nice about that also is once it was built out, it knew all our software, so I could use it to train our in-house tech support. We set up a prompt where we could just say, start a training level or a role play level 1, 2, or 3 we set up. And it'll say, hey, I'm live at an event and this is happening. And you basically have to like work through the problem and say, try and reset darkroom booth. And they'll say, okay, I reset darkroom booth, but it's still happening, and it'll just go through and you could eventually give up and they'll say, well, this is what was wrong and this is how you should have handled it. So it's really good for training purposes as well.
That's cool. I haven't thought of
Speaking
that.
of that, yeah, we should actually. Yeah, well, I'm think I'm gonna have to look into that more because what I'm gonna bring up right now is how do you train your staff in lighting? Like,
How do you what?
how do you train your staff with lighting?
Oh,
Like, they do a normal photo booth.
Well,
How do you
again,
train them with lighting?
that's easy.
well, again, yeah. Well,
To
first
you?
of all, you do basic training, but then we have them send a sample photo in and just tell them what adjustments to make. But then again, we also have them submit the photos to chat now, and chat will tell them what adjustments to make.
Shit. There you
So
go. That's a good one
crazy.
too.
Yeah. So like everything, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I'll send you a video, Billy. That makes it really easy.
Okay, yeah. Send it to me because I mean the only thing I have with my
Billy.
guys is sometimes are they're they'll go out, they'll do great work, but the only problem is like I have to constantly be like, hey, yo, what ISO are you on? Like that kind of thing. I see grain. I see as the background's not white enough. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Like, how's your settings? Like basically, it's just like that. Some people are setting it to settings that I never went 1/1. I went 1/40 on shooting photos, right? But somehow, no, let me tell you, that's so weird. Somehow, one of my photo booths that
Lap
was
shifter.
shooting. Yeah, one of my photo booths, they were using 1/40, and I don't remember what else. Their pictures were awesome. I don't know how. I really don't know how. I don't. Are you telling people to stand really still or something like that? So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're doing, but the pictures came out pretty good. So is this something that I'm missing when it comes to lighting and photography, where they could use 1/40 and still take good pictures?
That's
If
fine.
you,
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean
so
it depends
the
on the
flash
lighting
the
in the
flash
room.
freezes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the same
Yeah,
concept with light painting. You have
yeah,
your bulb open for 10 seconds, and that people still look good because the flash is going to freeze
yeah,
it ultimately.
just have to have your flash
yeah.
at a powerful enough setting. Like it should be at full blast.
Damn, that means they're using a lot of my flashlight right there, the bulb light.
Your bulb life is good.
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, no, I'm just saying, like this is like we have a standard of settings that you really do. You tell your staff this is where you start, okay, and then you just go off with the flash, go down with the flash. But all of a sudden, I'm like looking at him, I log in, I'm like 1/what? What are you shooting with? I'm like, oh crap, and it still look good. So I mean, I'm not gonna tell him to go fix it, but he does have a video and photography background like somewhat because he works in the media department for Cornell University, right? So I'm like, all right, so okay,
So here's a hack for you, Billy.
yeah,
So all my photos upload to Dropbox, right? And
hmm
I think I told Lap this before. You can actually open the photo in Dropbox and look at the info, and then you can see exactly what camera settings you're using. If you look at the original file,
oh
it
okay,
has the EXIF data in there that tells you the ISO, the shutter, the aperture, and whatnot. So you can catch, if they're lying to you, you could see. I mean, because I've used
yeah,
that information there to tell my guys like, hey, why are you on this ISO, or you need to change it to this, because the photos look like shit.
yeah. Is
So
it is it Lightroom that tells you that, or what do you
no,
use?
no,
No, no,
no.
just
You just
the
have just
App-
Dropbox and then
Apple?
click on
yeah.
yeah, click on the menu and then go to info and it'll tell you all that
Oh,
information of the photo.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
that's
yeah,
too
special
long for
software
me.
needed.
That's too long for me though. Like I don't have time to sit there and waste. Because sometimes
Yeah, because
those
like
files don't sync with
no,
Dropbox fast enough. Like sometimes it takes a quick minute. So
yeah,
it's
because
it's
I
it's
just
just
look at like throughout the event, if something gets changed, if I don't like how something looks, I'll just look in there and like, hey, can you guys adjust, the ISO or even
hmm
even just change the power setting on the flash if you don't want to change the camera settings. So I can notice that from just looking at the information that's on the file. It has saved me many times.
we're gonna take a look at that.
you gotta
And
know
then
you
you can
gotta
just
know
pull
it.
that out on your phone.
But
So
but Sean is a photographer though, so when he looks at settings, he knows what he's looking at though. Like not everybody has
Yeah,
that capability. Let's remind
well, that's
anybody
the
who's
thing.
listening.
Anybody that's listening, learn photography before you
Yes,
yeah.
start a photo booth
it'll
business.
make
You
your
need it.
life so much, yeah,
At
it'll
least the
make your
very
life so much
basics.
less stressful. Yeah, because like if I look at camera settings and they're off, then I know they're gonna be off just looking at the camera settings. But not everybody has that capability. Some booters, they really have to like move the dials, take a shot, move the dial, take a shot. So learning photography is a huge, huge step in making your life easier for sure.
Yep.
But
Like, I think, shout out to Mitch. He had that perfect example of shooting with a brightly lit backdrop, and he was able to compensate it with lighting just by teaching his team the right camera settings and what to use when your backdrop is lit with like the full sun. And his photos came out like fabulous.
Was it
So
backlit? Was it backlit by the sun?
yeah, it was back. No, I think either backlit or front lit or
I
something. But it
think
was something I saw in the original. It was super bright, but he was able to change it just with
I think there
having the
was
right
an
camera
overhead
settings.
window on the opposite side of the
Oh
backdrop,
yeah, so
like
it's
not
crossed.
behind the backdrop,
Yeah.
but behind the photo booth, and the sun would shine through and onto the backdrop. And so by changing the
I
camera
think that was
settings,
it. Yeah.
they compensated for that and got good results. It was like 2 weeks
I just
ago,
blasted
right?
Flash.
Yeah. So good job, Mitch Miller.
Yep.
He has a
Oh
photography
boy.
background, but I
He
don't feel like
does.
Yeah, he's also very technical.
yeah.
Really smart guy.
I feel like it's hard to like train your staff, like because I train my staff. A lot of my team have been with me for a long, long time. They were, doing events for like 6, 7 years, and I just feel like you really have to just oversee their work and like keep checking. Because I had an event where when she started, the lighting was great. And at the end of the event, the lighting was not great. And we're gonna do another episode about that because that was a whole thing. But I mean, like I'm constantly told to like be more hands off, and then when I'm hands off, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
No, you're right. I feel I feel you because it's like I've been saying I want to go on like a 3 week vacation to travel Asia, right? But yo, if I go on that, I don't know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's
Everything's gonna burn down.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
Jason's been on
Yeah.
vacation. He managed fine. You just gotta make sure you gotta just make sure you have like somebody there to support that they can reach out to, like you have a big enough network that, you have people that you can just give out your
AI.
number to, their number to. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
Hey, your phone number is on my iPad. It's drop-offs, Billy. So
you're the emergency contact.
hey, got
Yeah.
it. I'm here. I'm there. I'm there. No, because I really don't. I mean, I'm always there because my wife has been saying, "Hey, when I go on vacation with you, it's not really. You're always constantly on your computer." So it's like yeah, because I have to check on things that's going on. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you
My
can't
wife
stop
complains
as a
about the
business
same
owner.
thing.
Except when you're on a
Yeah,
cruise, then
Yeah.
you're very, very limited. When you're on a cruise, the internet is so
yeah.
slow, forget about it.
Depends on the
I
cruise
can't.
line.
Yeah, I cancel all my events. No, I'm kidding. Oh man, we can't do that.
I mean,
Oh
like
man.
I had a few events this last weekend when I was out of town for my daughter's soccer tournament, and so there are like multiple glam booths. So where I stress that lighting and settings are key when you do glam booth, and my guys pulled it off, without me. I had to
Nice.
just make a couple reminders, but for the most part, they did it on their own.
Mhm.
That's
So that
awesome.
was the hardest part for me. Like I used to be able to never let go of those things, but
Yeah, I remember
I just
that.
peeked in a few times and they took care of it. So gotta let go. So
Yeah,
You
man.
have
That's
me telling
Yeah.
me that, and then when I did let go, I had so much regret about it. So much regret about it because I'm always on top of all of my events. I watch, the outputs and stuff. And this one time I didn't is they were terrible. They were terrible.
I mean, I
Yeah.
don't let
But
go to the
yeah,
point where I don't check
yeah,
the quality.
exactly. Like
I check quality for
when
and
I'm
I
then
letting go, I've got someone
did.
in the office that's not letting go. Like I'm letting it go into someone else's hands. I'm not just turning the lights off and walking away.
No, I was there for the event. I mean, I was remote checking the quality of the photos, and I don't know why the settings were changed. I was never notified. Anyways, we'll talk about that another day. I want to do a whole episode about that, but
I
yeah,
heard.
Did you figure
Yeah,
yeah.
out
I
though what
heard.
happened or what?
What happened?
Did you figure out what happened? Why it changed
Yes,
so much? Okay.
Yeah. Well,
it's not a good time. Can you see her face?
he's like, don't.
It's
Read
just
the room, Timo.
This just, it's just one of the, like, you run a business and, you try to be on top of everything. I mean, we've all done this for so long, like 13 years. I've done it 12, 13 years. And like, everybody knows me as like a control freak. Like I'm constantly being told like to let go. And even when you think that you have your staff trained well, it's just, I just don't
I
even
got
know
the
where to
same
go
issue
with that,
though.
you guys.
Every time I think like, don't say anything, it's gonna be good. They know what they're doing, that it gets fucked up. And I'm like, oh
Yep.
shit, could have said something.
You give them too much leeway. You let them do whatever they want sometimes.
But
Then
sometimes it's the easiest stuff, like I had one staff member cutting down some boxes and using like a stool to put the box on and then cut it, right? And I was like, should I say something to be careful? Nah, she's a grown woman, she will know. And what happened? She cut into the stool, cut it all up. Fuck, I should have said something. Yeah. So sometimes it doesn't even need to be a complex topic or so. It can be the easiest stuff, where you think like,
cutting a box.
shouldn't be micromanaging, and then at the end you should have.
and you should have. You're right.
It is
That's
what it is.
true. Oh my
I don't
God.
want to say any more about it.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't want to talk about this.
I'm going to Texas in a couple weeks and leaving my new office staff solo for the first time. So we'll see how they go. You're right. Like in the past, I was able to leave for like 2 weeks but I still was spending like an hour a day checking in on things and whatnot in the morning. But after that was pretty much it. But since we've had this turnover, I've had to be present in the office for every single event, and it's been a hard transition back for me. I know that's what a lot of people are still doing, but like I really just came in during the day, did what I wanted to do, and left, and that was my work life. I wasn't in the office during events or at events at all, and now I'm at the office like 12 hours a day again, like I was years ago. But in about 2 weeks, I'm going to Texas for a week, and there's not very many events because June slows down in Vegas. I think we've only got 3 or 4 events during that entire week, and I don't think there's any overlapping at all. So I think they'll be okay. I think they're going to do a good job.
They'll be fine.
When in June are you going to Texas?
12th through the 18th.
Oh, I'm just gonna miss you. What part of Texas?
Austin.
Be in Dallas.
Hey, if
I think on the
anybody's in
9th.
Fort Myers in a couple weeks, I'll be there.
Yeah,
Any photo
I'm actually
boothers in
going
Florida.
to be there.
Why is there so much going on in Texas?
Well, I'm going there for a concert, and then I'm actually driving to Louisiana to see my son and grandson. So I won't be in Texas that entire time, just like the first 3 days, and then I'll go to Louisiana.
You just do it live with Min. He's in Austin. Go there and do live. Hey, this is Min's 3D printing business.
Meet up for coffee.
Yeah.
Every time I go to Austin, I go see Min. He comes and picks me up, takes me to the airport, brings me to eat some Vietnamese food,
Well, send me some restaurants.
Yeah, no, the restaurant that he brought me to, I think his boy Steven brought me to, was because we like this thing in Vietnamese, Bumble Way, right? That's what it's called, right? So Lao, I know you what that is, right? So I mean, so does Sean. So this restaurant is like a hole in the wall, like grandma's running it inside, right?
That's the best.
But the food over there is amazing. I was like, oh crap, I even forgot the name. I should have it somewhere, pictures along the phone. I'll send it to you, Jason, when I take a look at it. But it was like one of the best Bumble Ways I ever had. That's all I can say. But I don't know if you like spicy though.
I'm getting
I love spicy.
Yeah. It's really good. I mean, like in Vegas, they have some great Vietnamese food too. But
I lied. I don't know Texas at all. I'm like, what's it Austin? I just looked it up. It's actually Houston. Sorry.
Oh, you're Houston. I forget.
Yeah.
Houston,
I'm like,
Big state. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm like, I would have known if I was going to be in Men's Town. I must be somewhere different. Look, it's Houston.
That's funny.
Hey, who's in Houston?
Jason Cage and Belinda.
I mean, looks like Taylor's here.
Ortega, right?
Yep.
Houston.
Yeah.
I know Belinda and Jason are there. I'm gonna try and hook up with both of them.
So Billy, for the lighting settings, do you have like a set of guidelines that you have for your team, like minimums and maximums that they shouldn't be like crossing over, or what do you have in place for them right now?
It's like so basically on a Digibee, right? You train them to have it at around. I mean, I like lower the better in my point of view, right? Lower the better. Obviously, we don't bring the ISO anything above 400 when we do photo booths, right? So I don't
Really?
want to do that. Yeah, I don't do that. Yeah, because I mean, photo booths. I felt like you shouldn't be too grainy and stuff. Like I mean, make this they want
I'm
a
with you.
distribution.
A lot of people do go over. I've
I
talked
go
to a lot of
over.
photographers that are quite a bit over,
Yeah.
but I like to be like 200 to 400 also.
Yeah,
That's
something like that.
interesting.
And then just fuck with flash. That's it. Yeah.
I
I
go
mean,
really
Yeah,
high
unless
on
you're
my
outside,
ISO.
you could keep pretty much all your settings the same and just adjust the flash. Unless you're
Yeah.
outside or
Sometimes I
have
feel
like
like
neon lights or something like that. Well,
feel like the
sometimes sure,
white.
but most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. But like
Mhm.
it also depends on like what color backdrop you're using too. Because if you're using like a
Yeah.
black and white are the two most popular for us right now, and we
Mhm.
change our
I mean, it'll
settings.
adjust the white balance and the flash. None of the camera settings need to be adjusted besides the white balance.
I don't
What
know
about
because I like when we shoot with black, I like the settings to be a lot darker so that the black comes nice and rich. And then when it's a white backdrop, I like the backdrop really bright. So I think the settings are pretty dramatically different between the two. For me, anyways.
What is
Yeah.
men sitting us?
It wants us to
Well,
be a panda.
I don't know how to do that.
What? What are we laughing about?
Is there a live link on Facebook for this, Jason?
Yeah, it's on the
Yeah.
Pro Boot Talk website. Pro Boot Talk.
Anyone watching?
Are they asking?
There's
Yeah,
a bunch of
go
people.
There's Jose Ochoa had asked what was causing the lighting in the room. We have no idea. Probably old lighting or lighting that just has its own refresh rate that does that like normal.
I don't think men. I don't think you could do the AI faces live. I think that's like a post AI thing.
Where do you
I don't
see
any-
that? Where do you see him asking that?
in our group chat,
Uh-oh.
Facebook
What happened to
Messenger.
him? Wasn't he on like a
He's
few
catching a
minutes?
flight.
Oh,
Yeah,
catching a flight.
he just jumped on for a minute.
Yeah. His OKC is doing very, very well. So he gets to keep going back if they keep winning.
What are we
So
talking about,
basically,
the team?
Men's doing cards for them. It's no secret, right? Obviously. So he's doing cards
It's
for them.
not now.
It wasn't a secret. Well, he posted OKC stuff. So I mean, he's doing every time this team is winning, he gets to go back and do the events for him. He gets to do the card event.
He's flying there tomorrow. They've got a game tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's go Thunder!
Sorry.
Thunder up!
Yeah, as long as Thunder keeps winning, he keeps on caking. Just on that. So that's his gamble. He's not gambling, but yet kind of a gamble.
Hey, if Thunder make it to the finals, man, I want to go down and help you.
I know. I want to go down. Let's all go as a team. That'd be
Well,
fun.
he pulled off right the singular booth.
I know.
He'll have us making cards.
Yeah, on our assembly
We'll
line.
put Sean on lighting.
There you go.
I'll show him how fast I can do it.
My goodness. How has everybody's business been? Everybody been doing good?
We're slow. We're quite a bit slower than last year. I'd have to check specifically, but it's like 15% down.
yeah,
this
all the
quarter.
same. We normally
Really?
do a lot of military events. All those have been canceled this year. And except for one.
Are they
One
getting-
event happened, the others have been canceled.
Are you guys getting responses on like what's happening with the companies that are like not? Are they regular companies that do regular work with you guys, or?
There's been a couple. There's two specifically that told us they're cutting back this year, and one just went in a different direction, which really hurt because they've been with us for like 5 years, and I assume that came down to price as well. But I don't think in the past she'd even been getting quotes from anybody, so I don't know.
You're getting undercutted, bro.
So
Yeah.
I've had companies book us or even earlier for like holiday parties because they want to get it in before their budget changes.
We are seeing that with holiday parties. We're getting a lot of holiday parties booked already.
So like before their budget gets cut or something. So They're like, yeah, you need to do it now so I can pay inside this fiscal year. That's exactly one person's comment. So
We also had
Mm.
a couple of those already
Yeah.
booked and paid all the Christmas events.
yep,
So, which is nice on
yeah,
one
they're
side,
like,
but it sucks on the other side, right? Because then you kind of work for free in December because
Yeah,
you got
yep,
money so
yeah,
much in advance.
like the
yeah. There's
busiest
one,
time, you have your highest cost, most payroll, but you spent that
yep,
money 8 months ago.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's a good point. I
I,
mean, I feel that too.
I I luckily do not have that problem, you guys, but I get you because I don't book anything that far in advance to be able to complain about stuff like that.
It's like you feel like it's free work.
Yeah,
You
like
know what I
dang
mean?
it. Yeah, yeah.
Like, damn, it's free work now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I like our events book like, dude, like 2-3 weeks in advance. That's
Even
like,
in December,
yes, even
like
in December, like I
that's
believe
nuts.
we, yeah. Well, I
Uh,
mean, it's not that bad in December. It's like they'll book like in September, October, but that's still compared to everybody else who starts booking like 6 months in advance. I don't have that type of experience with holiday parties, even though I stress to them like, we fill up and we actually start turning down events because we don't have the capacity in December. And it's hard to white label in December because everybody else is going to be at full capacity too. So it's not, you got to communicate that to your client, especially the ones that they just use you. You have to stress that, like, if you don't book us, I mean, you might not end up having a booth. Like nobody
Yeah.
might be, there might not be
Yeah,
anybody available. But I've slowed down, but I purposely made that decision too, because you guys know, like, what, like, I had all my stuff going, like some personal stuff last year, like June of last year, so I purposely like stepped away from some like higher demand clients. So I already anticipated that this year was going to be a lot slower, but it was a decision that I purposely moved towards. I don't talk about it a lot, but yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's all good. That's what it is. But
Yes, it is.
yeah, that's what it is.
It's a
You're
good
doing
thing.
great though,
It's
Nat.
it's a good thing for me, guys. It's not,
Yeah, I
like,
know.
but yeah, I
Yep.
mean, I feel like a lot of people in the industry are seeing like a slowdown this year and probably last year too, is what I heard. But there's like a select few. Like I feel like Sean has grown a lot despite like all the changes with the economy. Like your company has grown a lot. So I think it just depends on
yeah. I
the
mean,
clients you have.
yeah, I'm getting like different clientels now, but like bigger stuff. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
you used to do more weddings,
Yeah,
and now,
I did have a few weddings over the weekend though, but yeah, just less weddings now.
yeah, more corporate based. What do you feel changed?
I don't know. I think
What?
it's just getting just I don't know, just getting exposure to bigger
yeah, I think
clients.
it's
It just
exposure and
allows me to be
reputation.
seen. So like in this summer, so another thing I told you guys, so like, pickleball has taken over my life, right? So like Min. Um so in I had to book event flights for my event around my pickleball schedule because
Not
so
fair. Like, serious?
Oh, what was you?
so I am going to so I'm flying to Portland to pick up equipment, drive it to Seattle to do an event, right? And then my wife was gonna go too. We were actually gonna spend some time in Seattle before we came back to Portland to drop off the equipment and come back home. But then all of a sudden I forgot I and so I booked and then I signed up for a pickleball tournament, not realizing I had to go to Seattle to do an event. So now I had to book like the earliest flight out of Seattle or to Portland so I can make it back in time to play in a pickleball tournament.
My goodness.
Dude, I wouldn't do that.
So
Is this
Because
this
like so
client?
after the event in Seattle, like we were gonna stick around Seattle for a day and hang out and explore and whatnot. But now instead, right after the event at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night, we have to drive back to Portland so that we can get on a 5 a.m. flight out of Portland to fly back to Omaha so I can play pickleball.
That's insane. That's insane. So
I
this
bet your
client that you
wife is
have in
happy about that
Seattle,
one.
Yeah.
this client you have in Seattle, is it the same client from Portland, or were they exposed to the services that you did in Portland and then they picked you up?
They think they were exposed to the Portland, but so
It's a whole different
the
client
client,
in Seattle.
yeah, it's a whole different client in Seattle, but somehow the DMC is from Florida, and they saw our events in Portland and then booked us for an event in Seattle. So, but I don't have any equipment in Seattle. I mean, I was planning on white labeling in Seattle, but then after I looked at everything, and my wife wanted to go, so we're like, okay, we'll just go do it instead. So
You don't
it'll
have a
it'll be
team
a
Going
as
to
partnership.
pickleball tournament with you.
What's that?
And now he's going to pickleball tournament with you instead.
Well, yeah, well, we're gonna fly back home to go do the pickleball tournament.
Yeah, but I bet
So
he's not too happy about that one, huh?
no, she was wanting to spend more time in Seattle. So
Seattle's cute. So you don't have a team in Seattle right now.
no, well, and my guy that's in Portland, he is my team in Portland. I mean, he is one of them is the lead guy is going to on a vacation to London, so he couldn't do it for me. So I was like, instead of white labeling, we'll just do it ourselves. So
Oh, you just sent me.
yeah, it's too expensive to fly you across the country.
Yeah, kind of. Kind of. I'm not gonna deny it. It costs a lot, man. It costs a lot to fly out to San Fran and stuff like that. I mean, it's not cheap. Just hotel living, everything itself. Yeah, I mean, we had this traveling conversation before, so I mean,
Yeah, we need to have it on one of the podcasts though. We need to have you come on.
Yeah.
It's one of the subjects that we've got on the list. It's just a general conversation on traveling and the costs.
For those,
Sure.
for those who are thinking about trying it or doing it, or there's a lot of questions around it.
I do it several times a month too. I mean, I know I don't do it as much as men, but I still do. Like I have to get on an airplane every month. One way or another, it's happening. I mean, like
we don't do very much.
When I was
Like 10 times a year or something.
That's pretty good though. It's still traveling. When I was asking how everybody's business doing, I see an increase in what I'm doing for some reason. It's basically more. I think it's more the quality of the job now.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
it's mainly what we're doing, like the bigger things rather than a lot of small little ones. So I think
What do you mean by that? What do you
helps
mean by
increase.
that? What are we talking about? What do you mean by
So-
what do you mean by that?
So production level stuff, like basically you're going out there, even white labeling now, right? My production is really on. We're doing like build outs, like full build outs. I'm renting truss and renting gear, the big gear, LED walls and stuff like that, and just putting it together, like and hiring the right people to do it together. Like it's more profitable when you go through the whole setup
Production
itself
side.
rather than and then just bring a photo. Tell your boys to bring a photo booth, right? And setting it up, and then you get what I'm saying, right? So I mean, I feel like the quality of the work is a little different now. Like for me, like
Because you're in
how you
control
say
of it.
yeah, you have more control of it. Like also you can tell. Like now, also I'm also getting like bigger projects like on my own where the level of the project is different too. Like we just did a build out, right? It's for Row 94, a whiskey company, right? And then they're going on tour. The first one was in Nashville, and then it's going on tour to Houston, wherever it is. But I don't know. There's a whole bunch of dates, right? So I don't have to be there, right? But I'm on the back end. I still have to change the screens for them. Say, hey, welcome to Houston. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it was great. You just have to have the right people, put the right people in the process where I'm able to pay somebody to build out the whole breeze thing for me. Like we're talking about several, we done that. I've done that with you before, right? So I mean, you have people build out the thing for you, any changes that they want, but you're able to charge way more because of the customization that's involved in it.
Yeah.
So the whole process was basically once you step into the booth, there's a video. Oh, welcome to Row 94. The guy's talking Dirk something. I don't even know his name, right? But he's talking, and then they choose video, GIF, or photos, right? Everything they choose has a video pops up. Hey, now it's time to leave a video, that kind of thing. So, and then after everything's done, after they share, they click share button and they click done. Another video. Oh, thank you. Now, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to share with your friends and find my new album, kind of thing. So
How
it's
long
like what's all?
how session?
Yeah.
Sounds
Say
like
again?
how long is each session? With the videos, it sounds like it's
Okay.
going to take like 30 seconds.
30.
What?
Yeah. So each video that they're watching, I limit them to you can't have Dirk speak more than 10 because there's a lot of boring stuff going on. You know, if you're gonna keep on speaking like that, right? But
Right.
at the end of the day, like we're able to build an experience that like that caliber, right? And they were like, wow, this is dope. And I feel like we can use this like, just sell these kind of things right for a lot more money than a photo booth itself. I think getting into building the UX is very, very important now. Like you build it to a certain way they want it. So remember that red eye thing that we did, right?
Yes.
That was amazing actually. They don't know I was sitting behind the wall manually doing it. But there was this
Well, it didn't
project
have to
where
be like that.
but no, well, that red eye we were talking about. Actually, Jason, you guys were on this call when we were talking about that.
Yeah, we were
The
on
red,
live.
getting the red eye. Yeah, we
Yeah,
were on
and
live
I
talking
was
about
like,
that.
it's
Yeah,
impossible. I was like, it's
yeah,
impossible.
yeah, it's impossible. It wasn't. It
And
was
we
pretty
made it
much
happen.
impossible.
We made it
Yeah,
happen, though.
we made it happen, but they
Yeah.
didn't know I was in the back editing it. There's like tons of hot folders going on, tons
Yeah.
of easy breaks and stuff like that. But every single session, I had to edit quickly and put the
Yeah.
dots on their
But
eyes.
we
Yeah.
streamlined it pretty. Yeah.
Yes, you
Yeah.
did. You helped me
Yeah.
out with that. That was great. But
Yeah.
that was the build out. Like you have the right people doing the right things. You could eventually inevitably charge amount of money to pay. As it's not like I'm paying a couple of dollars. I'm paying. I'm paying a lot of money too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you get to charge people for it because you command the whole thing.
Yeah, but
You can.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing that too. I'm seeing like I think Matt reached out to me about some UX stuff
Mhm.
too. But I feel like you like learning the back end of a
Mhm.
lot of software and being able to like have them interface is really a
Yes.
powerful piece of knowledge that you can have in this industry right now. Because I
Yep.
feel like a lot of stuff that we're moving towards is way more complex than just I mean, if you're trying to really get into like the big
Photo.
bucks, yeah, if you're really trying to get
Yeah.
into like the big bucks, like when we had what's his name, Troy on here, he was talking about like some stuff that he gets involved in with, and
Mhm.
he didn't elaborate, but like the stuff that we're doing, if you're up there doing these big activations, and Min talks about it a lot too, like the amount of time and hours that you have to invest into building the back end is
Yes.
so much
Yeah.
more than the actual event time that you're the actual time that you're at the event. Yeah.
Even the last minute changes should
Is
you account for those things.
yeah.
It's really hard. Actually, there was a point where there's like too many hands in a cookie jar. When you work with production, oh, you should change this, and then no, you shouldn't change it. You should make this. You should do that, and you're dealing with like 5 different people, and then you're like, oh, you gotta get paid for that, man. It's crazy, it's like it's so much headache. Even up until the last minute when we were going 10 minutes before the client is supposed to come and do a walkthrough. They wanted to change. I'm like, wow, okay, I got to stop what I'm doing now. Pull up my
Right.
laptop and do a change. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that stuff happens so. But like you just got to take into account that this stuff was gonna happen. So
Especially
just
on the
really, really good.
yeah, if on the
Yeah.
corporate side, if you're
Yes.
not able to do things in Photoshop on the fly, like that's
Yeah.
things being changed last minute is so normal. I really feel like I should learn
Yep.
like the video editing side so that I can fix my own stuff
Yes.
because of that.
Not everybody can phone a friend.
Thank you.
I'm only gonna call you, Sean.
But Billy, I want to
Yeah.
talk a
Mhm.
little bit about. So a lot of people don't know that you really made a jump. You made a huge jump. I know you bring it up
Yeah.
every so often, but Billy
Mhm.
had boothing. Boothing was like your side gig, and you had a full time
Yeah.
job
In a
beforehand.
hospital.
And then you
Mhm.
made a huge decision to hop off that job and delve
Yeah.
full on into photo booths. And I remember when you were making that decision, it was really scary because you have like steady income and suddenly you're like, bye. So I want to talk about
Yeah.
because I remember telling you, dude, once you do it, you're just gonna blow up.
Mhm.
It's all gonna just come. All the stuff that have not like all the opportunities are just gonna come crazy, and that's what happened.
Mhm.
So I want to talk to you about
Yep.
that. Like, what do you
Mhm.
feel like? What do you feel opened up that I feel like floodgates for you because you went from really just it was just a side hustle, even though you're doing really amazing at it, but like
Mhm.
overnight, as soon as you quit your job, like what do you feel created that opportunity and like what
So
changed?
what happened was like, obviously you guys were a part of it, right? You guys all watched me go through the struggle. Before pandemic, we were doing well. And during pandemic, I was like, screw, I was depressed, man. I was like really, really bad. And then what happened was basically I grew into this white labeling thing pretty big, right? And then as I'm doing white labeling, where to a point where it wasn't saying I couldn't quit my job at the moment, but then once 2023 came around, right? It was like I was getting a lot of my own stuff now, like now I'm getting some 5-figure events where
When
on my
did
own now, and I'm
what
like,
year did you walk away?
so December 2023. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been
So
that
that was a
long.
big jump.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't believe it. And it's like, I just turn around, it seems like it's yesterday. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
think,
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking about, yeah, do I remember my own? I still have I still have a certification, like on my job. I can easily just go back and just go do it. But it's gonna expire, I think, next year though. And you need it's company sponsored license. So you can't just say, I'm gonna go take the test and restart, because they have to be sponsoring you for it. So what happened was, that jump, what happened to me was I was like, hey, I'm making actually 5 figures doing some other, like, these projects are coming. Hopefully, what pissed me off is like I'm doing an event. I'm like, oh my god, it's going to 1 in the morning. Next morning, I got a 9 a.m. meeting with my bosses, and I'm like, crap, I got projects to finish, and then I got more events to deal with. So I'm like, yo, I can't do it. This is crazy. It's driving me insane. I was gonna still tough it out because we just bought a house, and stuff like that. So I'm like, crap, I got a big ass mortgage now. Shit, what should I do, right? And then they were like, "Oh, now you got to go back into the office to go to work because it was remote all this time." And then they were like, "You got." First, they said no bonus. And I was like, "What was going on?" Right? I was fucked up. No raises, nothing. Right? And then they said you got to go back into office. I was like, once they said you got to go back to office, I handed in my resignation letter. I was like, no, that's it. It's like there's no point. And then they did. They begged me to stay. They did. They gave me a raise. They said, "Oh, you'll give you a raise, give you a promotion." We're talking about like a 20, 30 grand raise. I was like, I have to work for somebody that cares for me more than, why am I working for somebody, busting my ass to work for somebody that's, trying to like screw me any day. So that, just remember that when you do your own business, you work hard at it. You're working for yourself. You're not doing it for the man. So I mean, what's really that's the part that really got me. But yes, it was still scary. Last year was still scary. But I mean, I didn't make as much last year with the two things combined. Definitely I did, like, with my day job and my whole photo booth thing. I didn't make that much money. Like, I didn't make enough money. But right now, for this 2025, knock on some wood, I'm going grand, right? That's pretty good. It's going very,
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah.
It's like, also I don't really share a lot online either now, so I think that's helping. It's funny. It's funny. I don't know. It is what it is. Because sometimes, what you show people what you do. I don't want to be like a gatekeeper, seem like I'm a super gatekeeper. But yo, people steal your shit, man. That shit happens. And then they see who you working for. Yo, some people are smart, they hustle, and they'll find out, oh, who's owning this brand? Who's the marketer for this brand? Let me go tell them I can do what Billy does for cheaper. It, shit like that happens. It happens a lot. Like, this industry is like that. I don't care what everybody says. Oh, I get it. Yes, community. You're my community, guys. Everybody who I talk to, who we have a relationship with in the community, you're my community. But there's another community out there that's there not just for the community. They wouldn't be in the community if they didn't benefit from it. So one way or another. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna make it blunt. I know we're live. I can't share a lot of things I do, and I do a lot of things. I'm not. I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm very busy. Yeah, but now I thank God for me quitting my job. I'm able to take on these big projects that come along.
Yeah. But it
That
was
changes things.
Yeah, but it was not an easy decision. I remember you struggled with it
No.
a little bit, like the idea of like just walking away from like that steady income. But I really want to
Mhm.
talk about like what do you feel was like pivotal in like you growing with all the opportunity? Because before you did do a lot of white labels, and then now I feel
Mhm.
like you do a lot of like your
Yeah.
own gigs that are like big productions and
Mhm.
like tours and stuff. Like, what do you feel
Mhm.
started that, sparkled that?
Well, I think what what started that was basically you do one, right? And then there's a lot of production involved in that one. Like, when you go out, you're doing a photo booth for them, but yeah, at the same time, they're a whole production company. You get really friendly with them, and you start talking to them, and they're like, hey, we're doing other stuff too. And I'm like, yeah, hey, I can help you out because I have the background in doing other stuff like videos and stuff like that, and I have a DJ background too, like where that helps out a lot. Do lighting setups. Oh, do you? So I kind of first start off there. Do you have any uplighting? Do you have any pin spots? Stuff like that, right? I'm like, yeah, I have it all. And then they pull me into production calls. People started knowing who I am. And I also done work for people who knew other people, like in the industry. Kind of. I can't throw these names out because it's,
So
yeah,
it's like
but
it's like just
yeah,
networking and like having the right
yes,
skill set for the right moment for you
yes,
to
and it
be
worked
able to.
out. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So now they pull me in like, oh, Billy, even like somebody recently just asked me. I'm not saying any names because I don't want to throw names out there anymore, right? So, somebody just asked me if I had a LED screen of and staging stuff, right? Like to build a whole stage, build huge LED screen or whatever it is, right? And you know what I told them? Yes, I do. Because I can lead a project like that. I mean, I'm already there. I know who to rent it from. I know the guys that can do the whole job. So I'm like, why not, say yes? So, oh, but we don't need experiential with it. I don't care. I'll do it. Look at Min, him too. The pivot that Min is doing too. He's building a set has nothing to do with photo booths. So
I'm
obviously we yeah.
yeah, I'm seeing some people in the industry that are
Mhm.
moving that direction. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like you don't have to just stay with one thing. Like I mean,
You
obviously
don't
this
have to
takes you
limit
a long
yourself.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you just don't want to close the door for yourself and be like, hey, that's why in a way where, there was a debate also in Ismail, like, we're rebranding, we're doing a new site, for myself, right? Obviously. But I'm still exquisite boost. I don't want to be labeled as boost, but I can't take away that name because it's where I started from. I
Why?
know you
Why?
guys have that thing, but
Why are you
I
so
know.
why are you so attached to your name? There's a point
Uh,
where
yeah.
usually at the 4-year mark, 5-year
hmm
mark, people like rebrand. You're like so attached to the name.
it's
You
like I, I know it's true. You're right. I mean,
you already
I
have a
don't
name
know.
picked out. I don't understand like what the
Yeah.
struggle to.
It's my internal mind can't accept the fact that I'm throwing this like what I built, like
But you're
this
not
is the name I
though.
built.
You're
When
not
you do,
throwing away what you built.
Yeah.
You're
No,
just
you're growing past it.
you're
Yeah.
allowing yourself to grow to the levels that you should be at. Cause like I
hmm
understand. I mean, I was attached to my
Yeah.
old brand too, and once I switched over to LX Pix, man, it just opened up so much more. It sounds so weird because it's just a name, it's just a logo, but
Yeah.
man, it really does like open up opportunity for you.
but why
Yeah.
not
You're
run
right.
in parallel to it?
Yes. That's
What was
where I'm
that,
headed.
Timo? What was that?
Why not run
Run
in
a
parallel?
parallel. Yeah. That's where
Just
I'm kind of headed.
another
Yeah.
website
Cause
for
yeah.
those certain jobs
Yeah.
Like, I
and
mean, if
with a
you're
different name.
building parallel with the intention of one day, like just as like a blended over to your new name, that's one thing. But I've ran to parallel for a number of years, and I'm getting ready to merge them back into one just because it's really hard to keep up with the SEO and the AdWords and everything for both. And then what I don't try to tell clients they're different companies. They're two different brands of the same company. Uh, but they still land on the different sites all the time, and they're just like, I
Yeah.
can't find the backdrop. And I'm like, because you didn't use the link. You went to the website and you used the navigation. Like I sent you a link.
Just take the jump. Just take the jump. Like,
So I'm merging
so
back into
Jumping.
one. And Ismail's
yeah.
handling
Like
that for
like
me
for
as well.
me,
So
I separated it several years ago. Because I had several customers who were looking for like commercial photography and then seeing a whole bunch of photo booth stuff on the website, right? And the other way around too. And so it was just too confusing, and so I separated the different branches and have different websites for different services we offer. So
Did you find that to be beneficial for you to have? I mean, but they're very different, right? Because your commercial photography is very different than like photo booths.
yeah, it's more than a different branding. I mean, it's a completely different service.
Yeah.
for me, it's photography. I'm a professional photographer, so It's a lot of like single service photographers,
Niching
not just
down.
photographers, like mechanics too. You know, like in America, there's a brake shop, there's a muffler shop, there's a gear shop, there's an engine shop. In Germany, it's one mechanic who does it all because they learned it all. You know, so that seems to be a big difference. But what I said earlier, like for the clients who are looking for a certain kind of photo service, it's easier if they are able to find it quicker on a website than if you have like all kinds of different services advertised, right?
Yeah.
But now for Billy, since I don't see the problem, why not keep the exquisite boost alive while also starting the new one already, where he focuses more on the production base kind of.
That's more of the road that I'm heading to, because I want to start my new one with more of the production work that I'm saving. That I have a lot of content that I'm keeping, so I want to throw that one that's straight up mostly with straight production shit, not like not like just the wedding photo booth stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like not like the one offs, like can't say those one offs, like not like the regular Google wanna photo booth kind of thing, or 360. I want to throw 360 into the production end of it. I don't even want to throw a photo booth in there. I want to throw, like, okay, on a production level, like we put a treadmill at Fabletics, right? So I mean, so that's a big production work. We had to bring in airy sky panels and stuff like that. It's like more production. Build out the whole set. We had to get those foot things so people step when they step, dirty up the white treadmill, things like that. So these are the things that I want to post up for that stuff. I know I threw that into exquisite in the Instagram stuff like that, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, these are the things that I want to start out with, where, hey, freshly with the experiential production level stuff, not the experiential photo booth, just one off.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I'm getting. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean I think that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. I mean, I guess you're right. I should just kill the name and just switch it all over. I know, but I don't want to waste the name either and still be a photo booth company. You know what I mean? So
No, I agree with
that's
Timo, especially if it's like like with me, it was just different branding. I had like social events on one side and marketing events on the other side. But if you're doing like photo booth slash versus production, I mean, that's a
That's a
completely
whole
different
different.
field. So
Yeah.
running a side by side makes a lot more sense than tying them
But I
yes, I
together.
do.
don't. But I feel like exquisite is more wedding based, anyways. Which I don't even feel like you even do as much wedding based photo booths. Even beyond the
But he's
production
also
side.
in
We're
the
just talking about the
exclusive white
photo
label
booth
though.
side.
Yeah, I still do the white label stuff. I mean, it has a lot of white labels.
Nobody knows him
That's
as. They just know
a,
Billy.
yeah, they know Billy. Yeah, right. That's
Exquisite
true.
Billy.
That is very true. That
Billy
is true.
Booth.
Yeah, Billy Booth, right? No, I mean,
Hit up
exquisite books.
Billy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. They still, like, now there's a lot of people coming to me. Like, it's more organic now. I mean, I'm very surprised too. White label is still there. I mean,
Photo
that
booth
one,
side or the
I'm
production side are we talking about right now?
photo side. Just the photo side now. There's a lot of, like, the white labels are coming in still, which I'm very grateful. I love you all for trusting me with your stuff all these years. They're still coming, right? At the same time, what I'm getting more of is my own photo booth stuff too. Now, like, they'll call me for a glam booth, stuff like that, like directly from exquisite booths. Now it's not like, hey, I'm just only doing white label now for that stuff. Back in the day, it was all white label, white label, white label. I get the, okay, print regular strips. There's no glam at weddings, for me back in the day. But now, glam for weddings is a big thing.
It's a
And then,
big thing, yeah.
I'm able, yeah, I don't know. Everybody should be upcharging for it. I don't care if it's a checkoff
Heck
in our
yeah.
software. I don't care about what it is. You guys charge for it because, it's a special thing, like,
Yes.
why not? Capitalize. So what, the software can do it, but you still do the job, right? So
The software was not always able to do it.
exactly. We use droplets, right? So it's like
It
now
Yeah, I
used to
still
be
use
very
droplets.
yeah, yeah. If I'm using a Windows based
Mhm.
PC, I'm still using droplets,
Yeah.
and it's way more complex. Takes way more
Yes.
troubleshooting. It's more technical. If something goes bad, goes wrong.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's a premium service. Just because it's easier to be accessible.
Doesn't,
It's
yeah.
easier.
No.
It's more accessible to a lot of people now. Doesn't mean that the value has gone down. That the demand actually has grown in the last few.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been growing, but I feel like now people don't even question if they want the glam. Like I
No.
feel most people want glam. Most
They
people
want
want
the
like
glam,
those
yeah.
black and white photos. Yeah.
And you let them know the pictures, right? I'm printing on one 4 by
Why does it
6
keep
now.
doing that?
Regular. Oh, you have the 360 thing
Yeah,
on or something?
I think
Why
you
is
have the
it?
face tracking on.
What do I
Yeah,
do to
face
fix
tracking.
that? That's so weird.
Do I have the thing?
How do I turn
That's an
that
iPad
on?
thing.
Says Lap the technical genius.
We should wrap this up anyways. We're at about an
Yeah,
hour and 20.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. I
Everyone.
gotta go read to my
I'm gonna
kids.
go
This is
too.
what I do every night.
Gotta
Yeah.
get back
All
home.
right. Anyone that missed this, we'll be publishing tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
Timo and Sean, after I stop recording, you two hang out for a minute until your stuff's uploaded.
Yep.
Yeah, guys.
Good
All
to
right.
you.
That's
Thank
all.
you, everybody, for joining us.
We'll talk more. Bye, guys.
To keep the conversation going, join our Facebook group, Pro Booth Talk Community. If you enjoyed this podcast, consider showing your support by subscribing, liking, reviewing, or sharing this topic with someone in the industry.